Anakin tells Master Windu that the Chancellor might be the Sith Lord that they are looking for. Mace then uses his communicator to ask you, yes you, for 3 or 4 Jedi that should go and complete this task. Who would you pick? Now this channel has spoken a number of times on this topic, each time adding a little twist. Well, today we are going to be having to make some really tough calls as we pick a team to go and arrest / battle the Dark Lord. Hello and welcome to Star Wars Grand Moff. I am the Grand Moff, and today we return to one of our favourite topics, choosing a team of Jedi to arrest the Chancellor. Now, before we go any further, there are some rules that make this different from the other times we have done this topic. On this table, I have chosen Jedi who were alive just before Order 66, so they could be called back to Coruscant to arrest the Chancellor. These are the strongest Jedi I could think of. Let me know if I missed anyone in the comments down below, and I would like to say a special thank you to all the subscribers who helped me with this order of this list. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to be more involved with these types of videos, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can help behind the scenes on different projects on this channel. Now, some rules. If you pick Mace or Yoda, you may only have a team of 3 Jedi. If you pick Obi-Wan or Anakin, you may have a team of 4 Jedi. This is to balance the list as Mace and Yoda are on a tier of their own. You may also only pick 1 Jedi from each row. 1 from row A, 1 from row B, etc. Finally, if you pick Mace or Yoda, you may not pick anyone else from row B, or the second row down. With all that out of the way, I'm going to tell you my choices and why I picked them. Let's see if you can come up with a better team than me. I want to give you my first thoughts when looking at this list, because it's more complex than you think. If you pick Mace or Yoda, then you can't pick anyone from the row B. So you've got to ask yourself if Anakin or Obi-Wan plus anyone in B is stronger than Mace and Yoda. So that's something that's going into my head straight away when I look at this list to get the best list to arrest the Chancellor. But the other thing is, I'm thinking of people that I want to eliminate. So looking at row A, which is probably the most important, I immediately want to eliminate Obi-Wan from my picks. I will not be picking Obi-Wan. If you've seen my previous videos, I think he would be a very, very poor choice to arrest the Chancellor. Obi-Wan is no slouch, and I think he is comparable to Anakin and in the tier just below Mace and Yoda. But his Force shield is so weak. And I've said it time and time again, he gets ragdolled a lot. His Sarisu is top form, as always, and against someone like General Grievous, he is the perfect counter. So if it was go to fight General Grievous, then of course you send Obi-Wan. But for arresting the Chancellor, who could just easily ragdoll him, I'm not wasting my A slot on him. Now, the pros for picking Anakin would be the Chancellor wants Anakin on his side. So would the fight even happen to start with, or would you successfully arrest the Chancellor? Or would Sidious start to attack and then all of a sudden Anakin could flip-flop? So that's the downside of picking Anakin. It could go either way, and he could become Darth Vader as he does in the original. Looking at the people in row B, I love Plo Koon. I think he'd be a good choice. Sin Drillick, Battle Master, he knew all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, but he did fall to a raging Darth Vader, which isn't the best achievement. He may have been the best in theory, but maybe not so much in practice. You have Ahsoka, who can go toe-to-toe with Maul, so I would say that she is probably just below Maul's level at this time in Revenge of the Sith. Do I think he stands a chance against Sidious with Anakin? No. So I'm going to be eliminating him. Looking at C, Kit Fisto was there, and out of the originals, he did the best. He managed to block once or twice, but that's it. Ki-Adi-Mundi does terribly in Order 66 when we see him, only being able to dodge a couple of blasters before finally getting hit. You could say that he was surprised, but throughout the Clone Wars, we don't actually see him do anything major for me to go, he's going to be my pick. Everyone knows I've got a soft spot for Shaak Ti, but I don't know. I don't think she could last very long against the Chancellor either. But then again, we're not talking about one person against them. I'm just looking at the list in C to see who is the best out of the 4. Deepa Billaba, we don't get to see very much of her, But being an apprentice of Mace Windu, it might be a good idea to combo her with Mace Windu. Their master and apprentice synergy. They both know Varpad, so that could become very strong against Sidious. And now thinking about that, Mace and Deeper together sounds like a really good combo. And then from D, they're just meat shields, aren't they? Who's going to buy you a second? So you've got Master Luminara Unduli, who basically loses to Ventress. I think she is the weakest on this list just on that feat alone. I know it was to teach a younger Ahsoka a lesson, but in any case, it just shows how weak Luminara is. Ayla Secura, apart from her being in Battlefront 2, she doesn't really do anything. She doesn't do anything in the Clone Wars. She is also only a Jedi Knight, I believe. I believe everyone else here except Ahsoka is a Jedi Master. And I would argue at the time of the end of this that Ahsoka is a Jedi Master. Some people might disagree with me, but Jedi Master level. And the other two literally get cut down by Sidious in seconds. I know that the other three on this list won't be able to beat Sidious, so it has to be Ayla Secura. So I'm thinking a good list could be Mace Windu, Deepa Billaba, and Ayla Secura as the three. If I had to pick three, that sounds pretty good. But then you've got to compare Mace and Yoda. And Yoda's got a better chance of beating Sidious, I think, than Mace. There's a lot of contention about whether Mace actually won. It is confirmed by George Lucas that Mace won fair and square. So those people who say that, oh, what if Sidious planned it? Mace won fair and square according to George Lucas. But for me personally, it seems like part of Sidious's plan. I don't know. But I do think that Yoda and Mace are equal near enough in defeating Sidious. Bear in mind, Yoda does lose to Sidious on a one-on-one. I think the fight was a lot closer than some people make out. I think that if Yoda and Sidious's places were just swapped around, Yoda would have won the fight and Sidious would have dropped. So the question is, who do I want more? I think I want Yoda, but who would he go with to synergize with? Whereas Mace Windu and Deepa Billaba would easily synergize to make that perfect list. So I'm going to come up with, I think, 3 lists, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below if you pick the same lists or whether you think these are the strongest, and then I'll give you my final one. So I think my first list will definitely be Mace Windu, Deepa Billaba, and Ayla Secura. My second list will be Yoda. So if I pick Yoda, I can't pick either of the 2 in B, remembering my own rules, so I have to pick someone from C. Who would work well with Yoda and his style? Perhaps Shakti? I don't know. The more I'm thinking about Yoda, I can't think of any reason to put other people with him. What would happen is, let's say I pick Yoda, Kit Fisto, and Saesee Tiin. The same thing that happened to Mace would happen to them. Saesee Tiin would get knocked down, Kit Fisto would last a couple of blows, and then it's just Yoda against Sidious. And Yoda lost against Sidious. Even though, like I said, I think it's closer than we think, he still lost. So he could possibly lose again. So it's not the best team to arrest the Chancellor. So I'm thinking maybe I just get rid of Yoda altogether. Maybe I only come up with 2 lists. So Mace, Deepa Billaba, and Ayla Secura. And then maybe Anakin, Ahsoka, as they combo really well together. And hopefully Ahsoka will keep him towards the light. But then who do we pick to go with him? Ki-Adi-Mundi, I think, is a really good choice. However, my big however is, he is too much in the dogma of the Jedi Council to synergize well with Anakin and Ahsoka and their thought process. And it will be a mental battle as well of Sidious or Palpatine trying to corrupt Anakin. And if he's there, it's not going to help. Same I feel with Kit Fisto, even though Kit Fisto's a bit more laid back. Perhaps Shakti? No, she's also... Maybe Deepa Billaba then? Oh, it's so difficult. I think it doesn't really matter who you pick in C. Or D. I guess Ahsoka's got some teamwork with Luminara. That's the only plus. But then again, she has as well, and so's Anakin with Ayla Secura. So I think I'm going to go Anakin, Ahsoka, Ayla Secura, and maybe Deepa Billaba again. I can't see any other way. So we've got to ask ourselves now then, is Anakin, Ahsoka, Deepa Billaba, and Ayla Secura stronger than Mace, Deepa, and Ayla? So is Anakin and Ahsoka comparable to Mace? That's a really tough question. I would say that they're relative to each other. I think if Mace dueled Anakin and Ahsoka together, I do think Mace would win. But they're not dueling each other though, on just power. They're going against Sidious. Interesting. Really interesting. I'm really torn. I think I'd have to go Mace, Deepa, and Ayla Secura. I think that's got to be the 3. but closely followed probably by Anakin, Ahsoka, Deepa Billaba, and Ayla Secura. Now, this has nothing to do with my favourites, just so you know. So before you rage comment saying, why didn't you pick Kit Fisto, which I know a lot of people are fans for, or Plo Koon, there's just better options for synergy, I feel. And we've seen how Kit Fisto goes against Darth Sidious or against Palpatine in this exact scenario. So I'm always willing to go more for a mystery option that's going to fail than one that I already know is going to fail. That's the only reason. Bear in mind, I love Shapti as well, and I haven't picked her. Deepa Billaba's a more unknown quantity. I know of her in Legends, and I know how powerful she is in Legends, but in canon, we know nothing about her. And if she's relative to her Legends counterpart, her and Mace as a combo should be a good pair to deal with Sidious, in my opinion. Well, there you have my choices. Let me know in the comments down below yours. If you like this sort of content and want to see more, then make sure to hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button if you want to be involved with the behind the scenes stuff and rating people. I have been the Grand Moff, and you may fire when ready.